Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday morning. I had to stop and think of what day it was. Golly, Tuesday morning, the 15th. We are in the middle of March already. Here we go. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Thank you for joining us on From the Word Bible Teaching. This is Morning Nuggets, and we are here every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. And I will say periodically, unless we tell you otherwise, because sometimes when we're traveling, it may be difficult to actually do the video. But I did find out one thing. I can actually pull up a video that was done previous. So hope I don't have to do that, but that was an interesting little thing I discovered. So, all right. So here's what God showed me this morning. He says, do you believe in God or just believe things about him? Do you know God or do you just know about him? The question is, because a lot of people go through life thinking they know God and really all they know is about him. They don't really know him. And I read a thing this morning. It says a Christian shoemaker shows who he is not by putting little crosses on the shoes he makes, but by making good shoes, because God is interested in the craftsmanship. And then I added, not the symbols. So outward symbols are great. I mean, my shirt here today says, Jesus, it's not religion, it's a relationship. I wear a cross every day. I wear those outward things that show people who I am, but that doesn't matter 2 seconds if who I am on the inside doesn't reflect what I'm showing on the outside. If I say that I'm a Christian, or people think that I'm a Christian because of the symbols that I wear, but my behaviors, my speech, my attitudes don't reflect that, then what are they going to think about being a Christian? Why do I want to serve a God if people are going to act like that or do those kinds of things? And so, again, outward symbols are great, but what's the most important thing is what's on the inside of you. What is your inner relationship with God? Does it show on the outside of you? Is your speech kind and gentle? And here's the thing about our speech. God corrects us when we do things wrong. He doesn't just let it slide because he doesn't want to hurt our feelings or make us upset. We can show our disapproval, if you would, towards things that don't line up with the Lord, towards things that don't go along with his ways. But you don't have to be mean about it. We can tell someone, you should not be getting drunk all the time. And we can say that in a way that wounds them and makes them pull back and just goes and drinks some more. Or we can present it, we can say it in a way that they actually think about it. They may not agree with you at the moment, but when you speak words that are filled with the compassion and the power of God, they're going to penetrate the heart of man. When you're mean and ugly towards people, that's going to close off the heart of man towards God. And so you have to do what is right. You have to do things the way God says to do them, what he says to do, and the way he does it and stuff. But you also have to do it his way. And no matter what he did, his heart was truly full of compassion because that's who he is. Jesus showed his relationship with the Father. He didn't just go around wear a cross. Of course, back in those days, a cross didn't have the meaning it has these days, because back then a cross was a symbol of crucifixion, and it wasn't a good thing. Today it's a symbol of our relationship with the one who hung on the cross. And so it is all about our outer relationship. It is all about our inner relationship with God that shows outwardly. And so I want to encourage you today to make sure that your relationship with God is so strong that people know by your speech and by your actions. If you didn't wear any symbols, clothing or crosses or what earrings or whatever, if you didn't wear any symbols that said you must be Christian, would a person know that you were a child of God? And that's a question, that I ask myself. I want people to know by my speech and by my actions that I truly am a child of God, because I represent him and I want to share him with others. And I want other people to know who he is, so that they will say, yeah, hey, I want part of that too. I want to have what you have. Because when your relationship with God is right, you can have peace in the middle of the storm. You can have joy in the middle of sorrow. You can have overflow in the middle of a time where there seems to be a lot of lack. Years ago, back in the 90s, years ago, I was invited. Was I invited to a funeral? I was in a situation where someone had died and there was sorrow. And I can't remember if I had actually went to a funeral or if I was just listening to someone talk about this person that died and how sorrowful there was. And God gave me a song concerning such things. And the beginning of it is, there's peace in the midst of sorrow. There's peace in the midst of sorrow. There's, okay, now it was just in here. Anyway, it was talking about peace being in the middle of sorrow and joy being in the middle of pain and life. And his name is Jesus. And so when we have Jesus in our life, I might have to go up to my keyboard, get my notebook, and I did have it down here, but I've moved it upstairs, and find that song now. It's going to bug me because I was thinking about it, and all of a sudden I just went, There is peace in the midst of sorrow. There is joy in the midst of pain. There is life in the midst of dying. Jesus is his name. And that's the chorus of the song. And so whatever we're going through, good times or bad times, happy times or sad times, we can have peace and joy and comfort in the midst of all of the stuff, because of our relationship with God, not just knowing about him, but developing that relationship with him, spending time with him, talking with him, listening to him. And he talks to us through his word. He talks to us in our spirit. He talks to us through songs and poems. He talks to us through words of revelation. There are many ways that God talks to us, but without the relationship, we don't know his voice. So God is wanting me to tell you to continue to develop the relationship. Don't think that it's fully developed. no matter where you are in your relationship with him, if you're a brand new baby believer, if you've been in the family of God for decades, continue to build and develop the relationship. Don't stop, okay? So he loves you, and he wants to do everything in his word that he has said he will do for his kids. And so with that in mind, just trust him, know his word, know the promises, remind him of his word, and then receive what he says and put it to use in your life. Okay? Okay. So thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you, and have a great and wonderful day in the name of Jesus. And remember to always be Jesus for someone in some way every single day. When you're Jesus for someone else, then you're allowing him to work in you too. So